On 8808, you'll be able to experience the Olympics like never before.
The Americans win the gold medal!
Every Olympic sport, coverage across 7 networks, live streaming at NBCOlympics.com, on-demand highlights,
Unbelievable!
and the biggest sports in prime time live on NBC. With over 3,600 hours available, the choice is yours.
A new world record!
The Summer Olympic Games.
Since before you were even born, I was finding these people and locking them away so they couldn't hurt anybody. Now a dozen of them escaped, and they will kill, and they will terrorize, and they will cause unimaginable destruction to the world. They're villains, Claire.
Heroes. September 22nd on NBC.
Straight ahead tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6. A dangerous day on the road for 2 state troopers hit in 2 separate accidents. Plus, a plane crash at Norfolk International Airport shuts down the runway and delays flights. A live report is straight ahead.
Well, a nice July day today, but what about the second half of the weekend? My forecast coming up.
And later, oceanic arithmetic at the ocean front. Crews are counting and protecting dolphins in Virginia Beach. These stories and more next at 6.
A unique test is going on around you. People are testing Intellos Wireless for 30 days risk-free. They're testing our nationwide network. They're testing our service. And if they're not 100% satisfied, we'll refund 100% of their money. Maybe you should test Intellos. We're saving a seat for you. Test Intellos risk-free with 1,200 nationwide minutes for just $39.99. Plus an LG flip phone's just 99 cents. Test the Intellos Quality Network risk-free today.
It was that day at the airport. Carl had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Grandma, Grandpa!
But I waited to see how he did. Julie?
I'm Amy, Grandpa.
That day I knew. I couldn't wait. Our doctor told us prescription Aricept is the only treatment proven effective for all stages of Alzheimer's. Studies showed Aricept slows the progression of Alzheimer's symptoms. It improves cognition and slows the decline of overall function. We started Carl on it right away.
Aricept is well tolerated, but not for everyone. People at risk for stomach ulcers or who take certain other medicines should tell their doctors because serious stomach problems such as bleeding may get worse. Some people may experience fainting. Some people may have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, bruising, or not sleep well. Some people may have muscle cramps or loss of appetite or may feel tired. In studies, these were usually mild and temporary.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Talk to your doctor about Alzheimer's treatments, including Aricept. Don't wait. Alzheimer's isn't waiting.
First in high definition from the station on your side. This is WAVY News 10.
A plane crash shut down the main runway and delayed traffic at Norfolk International Airport. Stay tuned for a live report. Plus, 2 troopers are recovering after being hit in 2 separate accidents this morning. And that is our top story tonight at 6. 2 Virginia State troopers were involved in 2 separate accidents in Newport News this morning. First at 7:30 in the morning, a driver apparently fell asleep at the wheel, hit a trooper's car while he was issuing a ticket. Then around 11:30, another driver hit a trooper on a motorcycle. Both troopers were taken to Riverside Hospital where they are recovering from minor injuries, as is the driver who fell asleep at the wheel. 10 on your side's Melanie Woodrow has the latest from Newport News.
On what's been a deadly month for drivers in Hampton Roads. And on what was supposed to be a weekend of safe driving with Virginia State Police targeting major highways. 2 state troopers became the latest victims of reckless driving.
We're out here trying to do a job and trying to make it safe, and we're finding it very difficult today.
Sergeant Michelle Cotton says the first call came in around 7:30 Saturday morning. This 2007 Chevy Equinox careened into this cruiser on Interstate 64 eastbound between J. Claude Morris Boulevard and Hampton Road Center Parkway. The impact was so great, the Chevy's airbag deployed. The driver says he fell asleep. Trooper Dennis was pulled off on the side of the road issuing a summons and became trapped in his vehicle. You can see the crumpled metal and smashed glass. A yellow tarp covers even more damage.
A lot of times people are more concerned about what you're doing, and they'll drift over to see what you're doing. It's very dangerous getting out of that vehicle, and a lot of public doesn't know.
Which is why state troopers are out today enforcing this message.
Slow down, pay attention, look where you're going.
It seems it couldn't come soon enough. Just 4 hours later, a state trooper on this motorcycle was hit by a passing vehicle. Same highway, 64 eastbound, this time at Jefferson Avenue. A brush with death for 2 troopers.
It's very uncommon.
Trying to make the road safer for everyone else.
They are very lucky that their lives were not taken from them. The whole department's lucky.
Melanie Woodrow, 10 on your side.
One of the drivers is charged with reckless driving. The other accident is still under investigation. The move over law in Virginia says you must move over or slow down when you see an emergency vehicle pulled off the side of the road. Virginia Beach police say a man drove off the road and died while speeding away from police. It happened just after 1 this morning at the intersection of Bird Neck and Hughes Avenue. Police say 37-year-old Glenn Corpue was swerving and hitting barrels. When an officer tried to pull him over, police say he made a U-turn and sped off. A passenger was taken to the hospital and should be okay. Police say alcohol, speed, and no seatbelts were all factors in the crash. Flights are back on schedule at Norfolk International Airport after a plane crash today. A multi-engine plane skidded to a halt on the runway around noon after its landing gear collapsed. The pilot was the only person on board, and airport authorities say he is okay. 10 on your side's Oren Lieberman joins us from the airport. Oren?
Laura, we have a clear shot to that airplane behind me. It's on the far side of the field, but if we zoom in here, you can get a look at it. Very tough to tell that anything is damaged. It looks to be in pretty good shape, most of the damage to the bottom side. As for flying conditions, we have a plane taking off right now, so it's going to get a bit loud for a second here, but it has been a very good day for flying. Light winds, clear skies, which leaves us wondering what went wrong this morning. The flights at Norfolk International Airport are back on schedule after a 2-hour delay Saturday morning when a private general aviation airplane crashed on the airport's main runway. Airport authorities say the plane, a twin-engine Beech Baron, fell to the runway after its landing gear collapsed, sending the plane skidding across the tarmac and shutting down the runway until the plane could be removed. People who had gathered to watch airplanes take off and land instead watched the efforts to remove the downed plane. Authorities say the only person on board, the pilot, was not seriously injured. These are pictures of the plane, registered to a company called Aviate in Poquoson. Crane operators showed up an hour and a half after the crash, lifting the wreckage off the runway and clearing it away so the airport could get back to a normal day. Emergency crews surrounded the plane after it was moved, making sure it was safe. FlightAware, a website that tracks live flights, shows the plane on a flight plan from Raleigh International to Norfolk International. The Baron took off just after 11 this morning, reaching Norfolk 51 minutes later. It was on a return flight. FlightAware shows it flying to Raleigh-Durham this past Thursday. But on its arrival at Norfolk this afternoon, the landing gear collapsed, causing a delay of 2 hours until the plane was cleared away and operations could get back to normal. We're still trying to learn exactly what went wrong, whether it was pilot error, whether the pilot brought it in too hard and cracked the gear, or whether it was a system failure on the part of the landing gear that caused it to collapse once the plane got on the ground. We hope to have those answers for you sometime either tonight or in the next couple of days. Live in Norfolk, Oren Lieberman, 10 on your side.
Norfolk police are investigating a deadly shooting in Ocean View last night around 11:15. Officers found 23-year-old DeJuan Floyd lying on the ground with a gunshot wound on Ballview Avenue. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. No arrests have been made. If you can help police, call the crime line, and remember, you can remain anonymous. A Hampton teen is behind bars tonight accused of shooting a Suffolk man in the leg. Trenton Higgs is recovering in Centera Obacy Hospital. Police say a 17-year-old shot him on Blythewood Lane Thursday. The teen is being held at Tidewater Detention Home. Still to come tonight on WAVY News 10 at 6, new details on what caused a deadly path of destruction in New England this week.
Well, nice day today here in Hampton Roads, but there is some more rain in the forecast. I'll tell you when, coming up.
Plus, the Senate is taking action on a bill that could help thousands of homeowners struggling to fight off foreclosure.
You're watching WAVY News 10 at 6. With Lori Crouch, Super Doppler 10 meteorologist Cheryl Nelson, and Chris Reckling Sports.
How often is it when the entire world can share a moment as it happens? A moment of dreams or disappointment, of defeat or triumph. This summer, they will come from every country on Earth for the Olympic Games. See the world's best and see the world at its best. The Olympics coming to NBC.
Now more than ever, you want to get the most for your money. Look no further than the 2008 midsize Kia Optima. 31 MPG, 5-star safety rated, backed by an industry-leading warranty, and it's priced about $3,000 less than a Toyota Camry SE. Or to put it another way, 3 years worth of electric bills less. The Kia Model Year-End event. It's money well saved. Now get 0% APR or up to $3,000 cash back on the Kia Optima. Offer ends July 31st.
Hot gas. Are you being ripped off? A Town Your Side Money Saver investigation, Monday at 5:30.
Good news for furniture. Sunday, Haynes will lower our prices by more than ever before, as much as 75% lower than any store in Virginia. Like this $2,200 complete media wall, all for $695. $1,400 of counter height dining, $488. Sunday, Haynes takes a big hit on everything in the store because the more we lower our prices, the more furniture we sell. Get the furniture you really want at a lower price than ever before. 6 hours, Sunday at Haynes.
WAVY News 10 pioneered the way you watch local news. First on air in color. And we took breaking news to new heights. First in the air with Chopper 10. And now, another first. WAVY News 10, the only Hampton Roads newscast in high definition. We're on your side, bringing you every detail in stunning clarity. Every day, every newscast. Tune in to WAVY News 10, first in high definition.
Monday at 5, former Virginia Governor Jim Gilmore's quest for a Senate seat. Does he have what it takes to win your vote? Turn Your Side's complete election coverage continues Monday on WAVY News 10 at 5.
Hot gas or cold gas? Does it really matter? Town Your Side exposes a little-known fact about the temperature of the gas in your tank. Are you getting ripped off at the pump? A must-see money saver investigation. Monday on WAVY News 10 at 5:30.
Back with today's top stories across the nation, the National Weather Service says at least 11 tornadoes touched down in New Hampshire this week, leaving a trail of death and destruction. The worst damage was in the small town of Epsom. The storm killed one person, destroyed at least 6 homes, and heavily damaged at least another 100 homes and businesses. In a rare weekend session today, the Senate passed legislation to help struggling homeowners and lend support to troubled mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. The measure passed 72-13. It will allow some 400,000 homeowners who cannot afford their monthly payments to refinance with lower, cheaper fixed-rate loans and save their homes.
And for Americans out there today with distressed mortgages, worried about their economic future, we hope this legislation will be the first piece of good news in a long time that we can actually respond to this situation and offer them some real hope.
President Bush is expected to sign the measure soon. Plus, you've heard of counting crows. Well, in Virginia Beach today, they were counting dolphins. We'll tell you why next on WAVY News 10.
Hey, I'm back, and so is the Honda clearance, which means 2 great things can happen. 1, it's your chance to get a new, totally redesigned Accord or the fuel-efficient Civic, and 2, at a savings that could be very opportunistic. Get it? Look, I may be animated, but it all adds up to me. Oop, guess I forgot to walk Oscar. The 2008 Honda clearance. Get APR financing as low as 1.9% on all new Honda Accords for well-qualified buyers. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I'm knocking. Oscar!
Andrea Barrow is a real Geico customer, not an advertising spokesperson. So to help tell her story, we hired one.
One day a rock chipped the windshield on my car.
Oh dear, broken glass sent shivers down my bottle.
I filed my claim at geico.com and scheduled an appointment.
It was a piece of cake. Or maybe more like hot pancakes.
The repairman came right to my house and fixed my baby like new.
Now I feel rich, thick and buttery, too.
Geico. Real service, real savings.
Oh, someone has put a logo right over my face.
I have COPD, which makes it hard to breathe. But now that I'm breathing better with Advair, I can be my son's first mate.
For people with COPD, including chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both, great news. Advair helps significantly improve lung function. While nothing can reverse COPD, Advair's different from other medications because it's the only product with an anti-inflammatory and a long-acting bronchodilator working together to help you breathe better. Advair won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than twice a day. People with COPD taking Advair may have a higher chance of pneumonia. Advair may increase your risk of osteoporosis and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking Advair.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm glad I could help. Ask your doctor how Advair helps improve lung function for better breathing.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at advaircopd.com.
Hey, I'm back, and so is the Honda clearance, which means two great things can happen. One, it's your chance to get a new, totally redesigned Accord or the fuel-efficient Civic, and two, at a savings that could be very opportunistic. Get it? Oop, guess I forgot to walk Oscar. The 2008 Honda clearance. Lease a Honda Accord for $219 a month for well-qualified customers. At where? Yeah, your Honda dealer. I'm Mr. Opportunity, and I'm knocking.
Yeah, Oscar!
You've imagined it. You've worked for it. And now you can start planning for the pleasures of retirement at Atlantic Shores. Offering 4-star dining anytime you please and a full continuum of health care. And now you can own a brand new residence at pre-opening pricing. Call 757-426-0000 or visit us at AtlanticShores.com.
Ever wonder how many dolphins are swimming off our coast? With their eyes to the ocean, volunteers with the Virginia Aquarium Stranding Response Team took a tally. Nearly 100 people were stationed from Cape Henry to the North Carolina line. The count will be used to determine the dolphins' impact in our area.
They only eat about 30 or 40 pounds of food, but if you're talking about a population of 4,000 dolphins between North Carolina and New Jersey, that could have an impact on the fisheries.
The data from the 16th annual count will be shared up and down the East Coast. There was plenty of Old Bay and backfin to go around in Chesapeake today. Folks grabbed a bib and a beverage at the Blue Crab Festival, sponsored by the South Norfolk Raritan Club. All-you-can-eat menu included steamed crabs, pork barbecue, hush puppies, and coleslaw. I'm hungry. The proceeds will go to the various Raritan community service projects in Chesapeake. Turning now to Decision 2008, Senator Barack Obama is on his way back to Chicago after wrapping up his European trip in Britain today. He met with Prime Minister Gordon Brown at 10 Downing Street. Obama said he had a, quote, terrific conversation with Brown, which covered a wide range of topics, including terrorism, climate change, and financial markets.
I will say that the Prime Minister's emphasis, like mine, is on how we can strengthen the transatlantic relationship to solve problems that can't be solved by any single country individually.
Later, the presidential candidate met with Britain's opposition leader David Cameron at the House of Commons. The trip also took Obama through the Middle East, including stops in Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan, and through Europe, including Germany and France. John McCain used a weekly radio address to take some jabs at his Democratic rival's trip abroad. He says the presidential contest became, quote, a long-distance affair this week. Yesterday, he met with the Dalai Lama in Aspen, Colorado. After the meeting, McCain called on the Chinese government to respect human rights and religious freedom in Tibet.
It does no service to the Chinese government, and certainly no service to the people of China, for the United States and other democracies to pretend that the suppression of rights in China does not concern us. It does, will, and must concern us.
The Dalai Lama has lived in exile for decades since the Chinese occupation of his country.
Now, in high definition, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Cheryl Nelson.
Hope you enjoyed the day today. A nice July day. Humidity really not too bad across the area, and for the most part, sunshine mixing with some clouds. Let's take a look now at live Super Doppler 10, show you what's going on if we have any rain out there at the moment. And we take a look around, just a few isolated showers across the area. Really not a whole lot to write home about, but I do want to zoom in a little bit closer there. There was one moving through parts of the Gloucester area, kind of fizzling out as it moved to the east, and also down to the south here. Let's check out parts of northeast Carolina. Again, these showers kind of form and then fizzle out rather quickly. That'll be the rule, I think, as we take you through the evening into the night tonight. Just an isolated shower, perhaps a rumble of thunder, but really most of us won't see it. What we did see today was a beautiful day, great day for the beach. In fact, we do have some video here from Virginia Beach that we want to show you. And again, today just a gorgeous day to spend outside. Lots of people out there in the water, not bad now. Water temperatures around 80 degrees and rip currents not that bad at all for today. So a lot of people outside enjoying it. Unfortunately for tomorrow, things a little bit different. Let's go back to the graphics now as we talk about temperatures. And right now, again, not bad. Temperatures generally in the 80s. I think we'll stay that way as we take you into tomorrow as well. But boy, back to the west across the central part of the country, if you have friends there, temperatures well into the 90s, close to 100 degrees, a heat wave there. For us, temperatures kind of kept in check for at least the next couple of days or so. How about precipitation? Again, for this evening, not a whole lot going on, but we do have a cold front back to the west. Right now, though, it's back across parts of Ohio and parts of the Ohio Valley. That will start to approach us, though, late tonight and especially into tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon as well. So let's talk about weather headlines now. Only an isolated shower or storm around for tonight, and then a better chance for scattered showers and storms, especially Sunday afternoon and evening. And some of these storms could be strong to potentially severe with some gusty winds and perhaps some hail. Keep that in mind if you have outdoor plans coming up here for the second half of your day on Sunday. Let's take you through time for tonight. Again, tonight, no problems at all. Again, that isolated shower or storm. Most of us, though, won't see it overnight. And then as we take you into your day on Sunday, we'll start out clouds, some sunshine. Then as the day goes on, look what happens here. We really increase the coverage for these scattered showers and thunderstorms right into Sunday afternoon and especially Sunday evening. Some of these, again, could be on the strong to severe side. Then by Sunday night and Monday, things start to quiet down. On Monday, we could still see an isolated shower or storm. Best chances for that on Monday, though, across parts of North Carolina. So our forecast overnight looks like this, just an isolated shower or storm, otherwise partly cloudy skies. Temperatures upper 60s to lower 70s at the coast. And then for your day tomorrow, scattered showers and thunderstorms again, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures getting up, well, generally into the upper 80s to around 90 degrees, and those southwest winds at about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Forecast now for the next 7 days looks like this. Well, as we take you into the day on Monday, again, that lingering shower or storm, especially for the first half of the day. And then as we take you into the middle part of the week, our models not exactly agreeing with temperatures. Some of them have us up near 100, others keep us in the upper 80s. So right now I'm going to play it kind of middle ground. Temperatures in the mid 90s for the middle part of the week. Next chance for a scattered shower or storm on Thursday, but really we could see an isolated shower or storm at any time. But tomorrow, Lori, watch out during the second half of the day.
All right, well, I like your middle of the road temperatures.
Yeah.
Get away from those 100s.
I know. I don't want to put 100 up there.
All right. Thanks, Cheryl. All right.
You're welcome.
Another injury for the Redskins. NASCAR qualifies at the Brickyard. We'll head to Langley Speedway in Hampton for a local night out at the races. Sports is next.
We're the largest window replacement company in the nation. We've earned the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. Over 3 million windows installed, tens of thousands of satisfied customers. You should be next. Window World, simply the best for less.
See, my dishes keep coming out wet.
It's not your dishwasher. You need new Jet Dry Turbo Dry. It's a powerful drying agent for amazingly drier dishes straight out of the dishwasher, even plastics.
No more towel drying.
Jet Dry, the perfect finish.
Roscoe! Everybody takes more when they can get it. PetSmart bonus days. Look for bonus bags throughout the store. PetSmart. Be better together.
Termite proof. Class A fire rating. Engineered for 120 mile-per-hour winds. And you'll never have to paint it, repair shingles, or replace rotten wood. Carolina Structural LLC utilizes the finest components available, such as Pella windows, Therma-Tru Smooth Star doors, and Clopay garage doors. If you want a professionally engineered, custom-built steel building that's completely maintenance-free, call Carolina Structural today.
Remember, at Carolina Structural, you get what you pay for.
Hall Nissan is breaking every sales barrier. Pay half on Nissans. Yes, pay only 50% on new Nissans now at Hall Nissan. Take a look. Here's an 08 Pathfinder with an MSRP of $30,120. Now at Hall Nissan, you pay just $15,093. That's half of the price gone. See rows of new Nissans. You pay half. Exclusively at Hall Nissan in Virginia Beach and Western Branch, Chesapeake. Click hallauto.com.
At Value City Furniture, our huge warehouses are overflowing.
Save like never before now during our big semi-annual clearance sale.
And visit us at VCF.com.
When they were done, it looked like they'd never been there, except for the new windows. It's just beautiful. She loved it. She's happy with the windows. Of course, now it means I have to paint the den. If you need windows, call Window World.
Injured in an auto accident? Tell them you mean business.
Health on Your Side on WAVY.com gives you access to medical information from respected physicians in our community. Take your first look inside the doctor's office. Meet the doctors and their support staff. Get the facts about surgical and non-invasive procedures. View videos explaining the latest technology. Learn about your treatment options. Connect with current patients for insight and support. And hear from the experts on the health news making headlines. Get reliable medical information anytime, day or night, from the doctors of health on your side. Only at WAVY.com.
Hello, everyone. Chris Recklin is off tonight. I'm Art Kahn. A lot to tell you about, beginning with Indy, where they ran the qualifying rounds today. On the track now, Jimmie Johnson ran the fastest lap of the day, just over 181 miles an hour. The two-time defending NASCAR champion gets the starting spot at the Brickyard for the first time in his career. Next to Johnson on the front row will be Mark Martin. The veteran has never won at Indy, but he's predicting a trip to victory lane.
I'm planning on winning the Brickyard in the 8-car. We've got the stuff. We've got the team. The cars are awesome on flat tracks, Phoenix and Richmond, and that's. I have never planned on anything any more than my plan is for the Brickyard. That's the crown jewel.
So this is how they're going to stack up. The Chevys of Johnson and Martin on the front row, a couple of Dodges on row 2. Ryan Newman qualified third and was followed by Casey Kane. Four-time Brickyard winner Jeff Gordon on row 3 with Emporia's Elliott Sadler. Then it's Kurt Busch, Jamie McMurray on row 4. Defending race winner Tony Stewart qualified 14th. But hey, you don't have to travel to Indy to watch a good race. In fact, they're running at the Langley Speedway in Hampton even as we speak. But as I learned last week, you got to do more than drive to compete at Langley. As the drivers line up for the qualifying round at Langley, it doesn't take a trained eye to see how some teams might have an edge even before the pedal hits the metal. Supported by sponsors and pit crews, some drivers have more time to concentrate on, well, driving. But for most drivers in the lower divisions, this is a long way from NASCAR.
In the lower division, you kind of are the driver, the crew, setup man, engine builder. You kind of have to do it all.
Snug as a bug in a rug. Like 44-year-old Sean Calloway, who races in the Super Street division. You won't see a lot of sponsors' logos on his Buick Regal or a pit crew hovering around the vehicle. Still, he's not completely alone. Working out of his home garage with him in the nights leading up to the race is former Langley Speedway champ Dan Harrell. Harrell won't be getting a paycheck for his labor.
There's a mutual friendship there. He helps me, I help him. So it all works out.
And before this night is through, they'll both get a workout.
You kind of got to be multi-talented. You got to kind of, general idea of a little bit about everything on an automobile.
In fact, they actually enjoy this work. They have to.
I'll spend every night of the week out here if I have to.
We have done more than a couple of nights in a row out here. We started off at a fairly poor spot, but we're getting a lot better.
Calloway says Harrell has made a huge difference on their two-man team.
I've done it without him, and I've fished deep in the field. Ever since Danny's joined the team, the car has really moved up. We've got a couple of sixth-place finishes, a couple of top fives, and we're looking forward to going ahead and bringing home the trophy one day soon.
A lot of heart there. Tonight on the 11 o'clock Sports Wrap, we'll show you how the guys did on race day. And don't forget, you can see it a little earlier on the Fox 43 Sports Wrap at 10:45. Now, switching to the gridiron, news out of Redskins Park, and I'm afraid it's not good. Another injury. Defensive tackle Anthony Montgomery broke a bone in his right hand during a scrimmage today. Now, Coach Jim Zorn says the team does not know how long Montgomery will be out. Montgomery started 15 games last season. Staying in the NFC East, during the first day of Cowboys camp, veteran wide receiver Terry Glenn was released from the team today. Meanwhile, new defensive back Pac-Man Jones continued to get adjusted to his new team, wearing Deion Sanders' old number 21. Pac-Man is back in the league after serving a one-year suspension.
I already got my what I need to do, and that's just stay out of trouble, and my main thing is to do my part and stay out of trouble and enjoy myself playing football.
I know firsthand that I do and we do have his goodwill.
I know that he's was interested in certainly playing for the Cowboys. We'll see what happens down the road.
And, Lori, there are other things going on in the world of sports today. Baseball will have the Yankees, Red Sox highlights later tonight, and also some news from Harbor Park in
All right, sounds good. All right, thanks. That wraps up Wavy News 10 at 6. We're signing off now, but we're always online at wavy.com. Join us tonight at 11.
Tired of your gas guzzler? Flip it. Don't want to make another payment on your current vehicle? Flip it. Upside down? Flip it. At Hall Automotive, flip your old car for up to $8,000 off a new vehicle. Flip it. And lower your interest rate to 0%. Flip it. For great gas mileage, Hall sells over 30 models that get over 30 miles per gallon. Get top dollar for your trade, plus up to $8,000 off a new vehicle when you flip it today at Hall Automotive.
Good news for furniture. Sunday, Haynes will lower our prices by more than ever before, as much as 75% lower than any store in Virginia. Like this $2,200 complete media wall, all for $695. $1,400 of counter height dining, $488. Sunday, Haynes takes a big hit on everything in the store because the more we lower our prices, the more furniture we sell. Get the furniture you really want at a lower price than ever before. 6 hours, Sunday at Haynes.
It's the best time to drive a Ford because Ford quality is now equal to Toyota. During Ford's model year clearance, every Ford comes with our best offers of the year, like Focus with up to 35 miles per gallon.
Saves us money.
Fusion.
It's all voice command.
It's all voice command.
And America's favorite sports car, Mustang.
Doesn't get much better than this.
Save up to $4 grand on the legend Ford Mustang during the Ford model year clearance at your local Ford dealer. Ford. Drive one.
Wavy News 10, first in high definition.
Housing help, a lifeline for struggling homeowners fighting off foreclosure. Getting the fat out, one state's extraordinary war on trans fats. Is this just the beginning? Troubled waters, what's happening on the beach this weekend that has so many so concerned? And culture shock in China. Learning what not to ask. All those Olympic visitors.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. Faced with the twin realities of an election year and a credit crisis with no end in sight, the U.S. Senate was open for business on this Saturday, where it approved a mortgage relief bill that aims to rescue almost 500,000 homeowners from the brink of foreclosure. And with the president on board, relief could be on its way very soon for those struggling to pay their mortgages and for the American economy. NBC's Kevin Cork has more now on Washington's multi-billion-dollar mortgage lifeline.
For the hundreds of thousands of Americans facing foreclosure, help today from Congress.
The motion to concur is agreed to.
In a rare Saturday session, the Senate voted overwhelmingly, 72-13, to approve a sweeping housing bill.
So we can keep going here all day.
Mr. President, am I being recognized or not?
Which capped a heated debate over the best way to address the nation's housing downturn.
It's not perfect, but we're on your side, we're stepping up, and we want to make a difference to be able to keep you in your homes and give you a chance to get back on your feet again.
In a statement, the White House said the president would sign the bill as soon as it reached his desk, saying it would keep more deserving Americans in their homes, especially low-income Americans. The bill has three major provisions. It sets aside $300 billion to help struggling homeowners get new, lower-cost loans. It gives almost $4 billion in aid to urban communities, hardest hit by foreclosures. And it enables the Treasury Department to prop up Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in the event that one or both fail.
They want to see solutions.
But some Republican senators were angered by what they called a potential bailout of the two mortgage giants.
The U.S. Senate can and should spend time debating these issues and improving the bill instead of rubber stamping additions that pose a taxpayer liability of billions and maybe trillions.
Still, the bill's passage offers a glimmer of hope for those in mortgage distress, thousands of whom came to Washington this week looking for help, like this couple who've been forced to live off their savings.
It's just a cost of living kind of thing, you know, everything's going up and it's hard to maintain, so hopefully we'll be able to lower our mortgage and kind of maintain a somewhat, you know, standard of living.
White House sources tell NBC News tonight it is likely the bill will reach the president's desk on Monday, although Tuesday remains a slight possibility. Now, to accommodate the possible bailout, Lester, of the two mortgage giants, the bill raises the national debt ceiling to $10.6 trillion, the first time the government's credit card has grown to 14 digits. And for you homeowners out there who have paid your bills on time and your mortgage is all caught up, you're wondering, well, what's in the bill for me? Well, I can only offer you this. It should cut down on the number of foreclosures in your area, thereby stabilizing your property value, Lester.
NBC's Kevin Cork. Kevin, thanks. And there's more fallout from the mortgage crisis to tell you about. Two more banks have failed. Federal regulators took control of First National Bank of Nevada and First Heritage Bank of Newport Beach, California. Tonight, bank customers are being assured their money is safe. That makes a total of 7 banks that have failed so far this year. Senator Barack Obama is returning to the U.S. tonight after wrapping up his overseas tour today in Great Britain. In London this morning, the senator had a 2-hour sit-down meeting at 10 Downing Street with Prime Minister Gordon Brown. Earlier, he met with breakfast with former Prime Minister Tony Blair. As NBC's Andrea Mitchell reports, from start to finish, the Obama trip has been heavy on political imagery.
It was a whirlwind week ending today in London, all designed to make Barack Obama look like a head of state.
The reason that I thought this trip was important was I am convinced that many of the issues that we face at home are not going to be solved as effectively unless we have strong partners abroad.
He says he's only a candidate, but all week he appeared in settings that make him look presidential.
Part of the job of the next president, commander-in-chief, is to forge effective relationships with our allies.
A trip that began 9 days ago in Kuwait took him to war zones in Afghanistan and Iraq, followed by Jordan, Israel, and the West Bank, and then on to Berlin, Paris, and London today. Along his carefully organized route, the candidate was seen with the generals and the troops. He was chauffeured by a king, visited holy sites in Israel, sank a three-pointer, and attracted 200,000 people in Berlin.
People of Berlin, people of the world, this is our moment. This is our time.
An iconic setting for a speech with echoes of John F. Kennedy and Ronald Reagan. All picture perfect to get voters more used to the idea of Barack Obama as commander-in-chief.
Obama in a helicopter with General Petraeus, having Obama standing next to world leaders conducting press conferences. He was looking the part for a position that a lot of voters were still trying to visualize him in the part.
All week, John McCain planned to counter Obama by focusing instead on the economy. But by Friday, McCain confronted him on Iraq for opposing the surge even now.
He would rather choose to lose in Iraq in hopes of winning in Afghanistan. But had his position been adopted, we would have lost both wars.
Obama said he wouldn't be surprised if his polls dip after spending a week out of the country, while people back home are worried about gas prices and home mortgages. But he said ultimately those problems are global and cannot be solved by America alone. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, London.
We'll hear more from Senator Obama tomorrow morning. He will be Tom Brokaw's exclusive guest on Meet the Press. In India, at least 29 people are dead and nearly 100 wounded after several explosions in crowded neighborhoods in the western city of Ahmedabad. 16 small devices exploded in an hour's time, just one day after a similar series of explosions in the city of Bangalore. Officials believe Islamic militants could be behind the attacks. In Greece, forest fires are roaring across the popular resort island of Rhodes. The fires are consuming thousands of acres of pine forest. Some 2,000 tourists have had to leave. France, Italy, and Cyprus have sent aircraft to help fight the flames. There's a new theory on what may have caused the huge hole in a Qantas jumbo jet that forced yesterday's emergency landing. Investigators are looking at the possibility that some sort of pressurized container, perhaps an oxygen canister, exploded in the luggage area. Questions have also been raised about the possibility of corrosion, but the airline's CEO said no rust has been reported near the damaged site. Back here at home, a first to report of the growing campaign to ban those artery-clogging oils known as trans fats. After a long fight, California has just become the first to outlaw trans fats in restaurants statewide, not just in big cities. California has long been a trend center when it comes to health and food, so is this a start of a nationwide trend? Here's NBC's Chris Jensen.
America is a fast food and fatty food loving nation.
It tastes good. It's yummy.
But eating out in California is about to get healthier.
The state of California will become the first state in the nation to ban the use of trans fat oils beginning the year 2010.
State Assemblyman Tony Mendoza is a former teacher who proposed the ban after seeing so many overweight students. A decade of studies showed trans fats contribute to obesity. They also raise the amount of bad cholesterol while decreasing good cholesterol levels.
That's kind of a double whammy for heart disease. Both of those changes cause more plaque buildup in the arteries and increase the risk of heart attack and stroke.
Research at Harvard suggests that trans fats contribute to 50,000 early heart attack deaths each year. Other studies linked trans fats to infertility, prostate cancer, and breast cancer.
Trans fat margarines and oils have been popular in restaurants for years because they're cheap, make food last longer, and some say taste better. But Texas A&M did a study comparing fries made with and without trans fats, and guess what? The healthier fry won.
Some big chains like McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Cheesecake Factory have already changed recipes and started to move away from trans fats. But opponents argue it will be harder for the mom-and-pop restaurants to comply with the ban and makes the government the food police.
A legislature for the first time that I can recall has deemed a food product illegal because there's a healthier alternative available, and it puts us on a slippery slope.
Still, major food-loving cities have already banned trans fats in recent years, including New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Boston, and Seattle.
Replacing these unhealthy trans fats that have no redeeming or nutritious value with healthier form of fats is actually going to save lives.
With more than a dozen states now proposing similar bills, California could be the trendsetter that helps America kick the trans fat habit. Chris Chansing, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Now to the fallout from Hurricane Dolly. South Padre Island is declaring itself closed for business following the direct hit earlier this week. With millions of dollars in damage and no power, this popular Texas resort has no choice but to turn tourists away. Many roads are still closed. Even after the tropical storms and hurricanes have moved on, they're having a lingering effect at some of America's beaches this weekend. NBC's Michelle Franzen now on the rising tide of danger along this country's eastern shores.
The sun, sand, and sea air draw crowds to U.S. shores on these hot summer days. But in the last few weeks, rip currents, bacteria, even shark bites are taking the fun out of a day at the beach. Rip currents, strong bands of surface water rushing from the shore out to sea, occur naturally. But due to the recent storms of Dolly, Bertha, and Cristobal, the risk of venturing out into the surf has increased. From New England to the Mid-Atlantic, red flag warnings are keeping lifeguards and swimmers on alert. In the past week alone, 5 people died off the shores of New York and New Jersey, including a 16-year-old girl who had gone swimming with a friend and was swept out by the strong current. Today, divers continued 2 separate searches at New York beaches for 2 young men who went missing.
Just to keep it simple, you shouldn't be swimming in the ocean if there are no lifeguards.
Experts say the ocean may look inviting, but looks can be deceiving. The force of the water and waves can overpower anyone.
If you're knee-deep, waist-deep, a rip current can send you maybe 200-300 feet away from the shore within seconds.
The danger demonstrated on Dateline 3 summers ago by Dateline correspondent Rob Stafford.
Even after that big wave, I'm still getting pulled out.
Instead of fighting a rip current, experts advise to swim parallel to the shoreline until you are out of the current and then swim to shore. Another problem plaguing some beaches, unhealthy bacteria. Levels soar at the shore when storm drains and water treatment plants can't handle heavy rain. This weekend, 9 beaches in Rhode Island are off limits. What might be feared the most in the ocean? Sharks. This week, 3 separate shark bite injuries occurred off the shores of North Carolina, Florida, and Hawaii. The most serious in Honolulu. Shark warning signs were posted, a reminder of the summertime risks that go along with fun in the sun. Michelle Franzen, NBC News, New York.
When Nightly News continues this Saturday, who pulled the plug on a plan to save hundreds of millions of your tax dollars and give older Americans a big break? And later, Charm School Boot Camp, all part of a crash course for the Chinese as they get ready to host the world.